What if I told you there's one simple grammar trick that can make your future plans sound instantly more natural to a native English speaker? Well, today, we're unlocking the future continuous tense, and trust me, it's a total game changer. So let's just jump right in with a question for you. What will you be doing at 10 p.m. tonight? Seriously, take a second and think about it. Maybe you'll be watching a movie, or you'll be scrolling through your phone, or hey, maybe you'll be sleeping. That answer that just popped into your head, yep, that's the future continuous in action. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
All right, so how do we actually build this thing? Well, it all comes down to a super simple, really powerful formula. And believe me, once you see it, you're going to wonder why it ever seemed complicated in the first place. It's way easier than you think.
Okay, so what is it really? Think of it this way. The future continuous is all about describing an action that will be in progress at a specific point in the future. The key thing here isn't about when the action starts or finishes, it's all about being right in the middle of doing something.
The formula is basically a simple 3-step recipe. It's so easy. First, you just grab your subject, I, you, she, the cat, whatever. Next, you pop in the 2 magic words, will be. And for the final step, you just take your main action verb and tack ing onto the end. That is literally it. Subject, will be, and then your verb with ing. And you know what the best part is? This little recipe works for everything. So if you're making a positive statement, you get, I will be working. Need to make it negative? Easy. You just slide the word not right in there. I will not be working. And if you want to ask a question, just flip those first 2 parts. Will I be working? See, it's so consistent. Okay, so we've got the how down, we know how to build it. But the real question, the important one, is why? When do we actually use this thing? Well, as it turns out, this tense has 2 very specific, very important jobs in everyday English. So those 2 jobs are, number 1, to pinpoint an action at a very specific moment in the future. And number 2, and this one is really cool, is for talking about normal, planned events. And this one has a kind of secret power. It makes you sound way more polite. Let's break them both down. So let's start with that first job. Think of it like you're a movie director painting a scene. When you use the future continuous, you're telling your listener, hey, picture this exact moment in the future. You're not describing how an action starts, you're dropping them right into it, smack dab in the middle of it happening. Just look at the precision in this example. The sentence doesn't say she will visit at 11. It says she'll be visiting. See the difference? This tells us that at 11 a.m. sharp, the action has already started. We're catching her right in the middle of the visit. That's the magic here.
All right, let's talk about job number 2. Now, this one's a little more subtle, but honestly, it's so useful in day-to-day conversation. We use this tense to talk about things that are already planned, just a normal part of our routine. And like I said, this is your secret weapon for sounding incredibly natural and polite. Okay, check out this example. It's perfect. When someone says, I'll be going past the post office later, what's really going on? They're just telling you a fact about their plan, right? It's not a special trip, it's just the normal course of things for their day. And that kind of casual statement is the absolute perfect, no-pressure setup for a polite offer.
All right, that's enough theory. Let's see this thing in action. How does it actually work in the real world with some real scenarios? To do that, let's meet Lynn. We're going to follow her through her busy day tomorrow, and her schedule is going to give us some really clear examples of what we're talking about. So here's Lynn's day. We can pinpoint exactly what she'll be doing at any given moment. So at 11 a.m., she'll be visiting a travel company. Fast forward to 1:30 p.m., she'll be having lunch. And at 3:30, she'll be right in the middle of a meeting with Derek Hall. Then by 5:30, she'll be flying to London. See? Every single one of these describes an action that's already in progress. Let's really zoom in on that lunch, for example. At exactly 1:30, she's not just starting her meal, and she's definitely not finishing it. Nope, she is in the process of having lunch with Mary and Ron. That's that pinpoint precision this tense gives us. It's so specific.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. We've seen the schedule stuff, so let's get back to conversations. Remember that second job? That secret weapon for sounding more natural and polite? Let's look at that.
Okay, picture this. Your friend just casually says this to you. Notice it's not some big announcement. They're just stating a simple fact about their plans for the evening, right? It's just what's happening. And a simple little statement like this is often the perfect, gentle setup for an offer, right? Because they've already established it's no big deal for them. The car's just going to be sitting there anyway. The offer feels totally casual. There's no pressure. It's just a really smooth, natural way to offer to help someone out. Here's another fantastic one. Think about the difference. When you ask someone, "Will you be speaking to Robert?" It just sounds so much softer and more polite than asking, "Are you going to speak to Robert?" And why is that? It's because the first version just sounds like you're curious about what they already have planned. You're not trying to give them a new chore. And so when they say, "Yeah, I am," that super polite opening makes it so easy and natural to follow up with a request. It's that kind of conversational smoothness that really makes a difference in how fluent you sound. All right, so there you have it. We've gone through the formula. We've gone through its two main jobs. Let's do a super quick recap to lock it all in, because now it's your turn to get out there and speak. Okay, let's boil this all down to the essentials. First, the formula. So simple. Subject plus will be plus your verb with ing. Got it? Good. And then remember it's two powerhouse jobs. Job number 1, to pinpoint an action that will be in progress in the future. And job number 2, to talk about your regular plans, which lets you make these awesome, polite offers and requests. And that's it. You now have this powerful new tool in your English toolkit to help you sound more precise and more natural. So the only question left is, what will you be doing with it? How will you be using it in your conversations? Think about it and give it a try. Thanks so much for tuning in.